The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
And Howard, I sort of wonder if you have any sympathy as a former candidate yourself, as a person on the receiving end of so-called gotcha questions, for the idea that this is essentially a game of gotcha.
Well, it is a game of gotcha, and my view after I went through it is, look, this is the most important office in the world, and if you can't survive a little gotcha from the press, which I grant is very unattractive and makes you mad as a candidate, what are you going to do when Vladimir Putin demands Alaska back? So this is just all part of the deal, right? You got to put up with it. I mean, you better be tough enough to figure this out. You know, I've always thought that Scott Walker was a rookie, and he was in over his head as governor, and I can't imagine him as president. I hope I don't ever have to. And this is an example of that. He doesn't have an inner compass. What he's doing is catering, and I agree with Michael. This is some of both. Some of it he's been gotcha'd, and some of it he's catering to the right wing. The trouble with that is he's going to have the same problem that Mitt Romney did. He's going to say some things he's going to be hard to live down because the average American voter doesn't want to know. They want to know that he thinks that he respects the presidency. And obviously you can't respect the presidency if you think you say he's not a Christian. He was born in Kenya and all this other crazy crap. And he's now catering to the crazy wing of the Republican Party. And that's great in the primaries, but it's going to come back and bite him in the general election.
Yeah, I mean, we should note that he has been asked.
It's also going to make him, if he's not careful, he's going to be unavailable for vice president. Now, I think he could beat Jeb Bush, but I also think he doesn't want to go too far out there. He's not going to be acceptable to be on the ticket at all.
Well, I should note, that in terms of, you mentioned the Kenya thing, he has not been asked that. But, Michael, my sort of dream of this is a thought experiment in which you ask him increasingly ludicrously obvious questions so that you get to the point where you're like, Governor Walker, does the revolve around the sun? Right? At a certain point, you just ask non-political ones and be like, come on, give me a yes. Give me a yes on the sun revolving around the earth.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.